got this Rise coffee right here.
I got some of that in the kitchen. I already know.
Mm-hmm. How we doing today, people? Welcome back. Welcome back. We are back with another episode of IU Talks. I have another guest, a beautiful guest that goes by the name of Daisy.
Yes.
Daisy. I've still listen. Backstory: how I found Daisy. I was on TikTok, just minding my business, scrolling. You know, sometimes you get your little scroll mode, and my
Hmm.
TikTok is full of algorithm. My algorithm is full of spiritual information. So she pops up. And I'm like, yo, she's so number one, she's paced with information in her videos. So it allows you to consume the information. Not, people be on there just brrr. She's very paced with the information. So when you listen to it, not only that, her voice is very calming. Listen to me, her throat chakra is very much activated. And she is
It
definitely
is. Thank you.
to get her voice heard because she put me onto a lot of information. So just to start off, thank you for coming. And if you want, please give the people a little bit more about yourself and just, tell the people about you.
So, my name is Daisy. I have been a mystic since I was a child, like asking all the wrong questions, but honestly, they were the right questions. I go by Starseed Baby online. That's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, if you guys don't know what a starseed is, it is just a soul that originates from beyond this planet that was
Mm,
sent, like with the mission. So, I'm on that mission.
I like it. I like it. I like it. My headphones not working. So let me go ahead and start off with a good question in my mind that I thought when I thought of this question. I said, this is nice. So for me, when I watch your work, you speak with awareness. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Your information is very grounded and
Hmm.
very easy to consume. It's user friendly, so it's beautiful. Now, with that being said, this platform is all about taking information and turning it into
Hmm.
integration for application and practical use in everyday life for quality and balance. So
Facts.
when you basically are you feeling like you're a human or a person and or having a spiritual experience? You feel like you're a human or a person having a spiritual experience, or do you feel like your awareness in a person or a temporary person's body or a human body? I ask this because let me explain real quick for the people
Hmm.
who listen. When you hit me with a stick, I'm be like, "Ooh, you hit me with a stick." When you hit a monk with a stick, the monk is gonna be like, "You hit this body with a stick."
Yeah.
Let's go even deeper. Let's say I am the body
Hmm.
versus I am aware of the body. Let's go. I am angry versus I am aware of anger. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? This is different types of awarenesses. So, are you feeling like you are a person having a spiritual experience, or do you feel like your awareness having the experience temporarily in the body?
Okay, so I think you're really going to like this answer because it's a little bit outside the box.
Okay.
So I sort of feel like you have to experience the depths of both to realize that you are not either. You are
Mm.
the bridge that connects them. Following?
Ooh,
Does that make sense?
yes, yes,
Because like you said, you're not the anger. You're experiencing this anger, but what is it here to teach you? What are you looking to ascend beyond? You know what I'm saying? So
yes,
when
yes.
you realize that you are the observer, you don't get too enmeshed in these emotions because you understand them as teachers, as lessons
Mm.
upon your ascension path.
I do. Oh my God, that was so beautiful because a lot of
Mhm.
people need the reminder that they are not these things that they are perceiving as emotions, but they are the awareness point. And then
Yes.
they make the decision to
Hmm.
choose and that experience if they want to experience that. You feel me? So it's very, 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 listen to me. For me, it's very important to be aware before you make any
Yes.
type of change.
Hmm.
I have a free book, a free guide called Awareness Before Change. Link is in my bio. Link is in the description. Click it. Make sure you check it out. It is totally free. I'm charging nothing for it. I only want to bring awareness to the people. Now, my next question for you, because when I was on your page, I see a lot of 444s. I see 369s, and I was wanting to jump into astrology, but numerology caught me so heavy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I don't know why, but when I see numbers for me, it's a symbol of recognizing patterns. You know what I'm saying? But when
Absolutely.
you see numbers, I want to ask you a question. How are you seeing these numbers? Are you seeing it as a way of life embedding an internal message, and that's something that you need to pay attention to? Do you see it as a
Mhm.
signal? How are you seeing these numbers, and how does it reflect and represent to you?
So the way that I observe these numbers is like a pre-language code of intelligence, if that makes sense. So it's a living intelligence because it's gonna mirror you. Say I see 444 every day and I know that I'm protected by my ancestors. I know I'm
Mm,
surrounded. You know what I mean? And the 369, that is like the creation of life. That's the creation of the spiral. When we see like even the angles, the numbers that represent the angles in astrology, the solfeggio frequencies, how these interface with the soul. It's a
mm.
living intelligence of communication between you and the universe that extends beyond all language and it's interdimensional.
Yes, wow. That came through like a crystal. You that was beautiful. That was well explained. Oh my
Thank
God,
you.
listen to me. If y'all need to rewind that back and use that as a reminder, okay? I'm gonna clip that for sure.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes. Now for me, I want to get into understanding because on your page, when I see the bio, it says you're the giver of life and the destroyer of illusions.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was powerful. That struck me. You know what I'm saying? And that
Thank
was a
you.
book in his own. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Like the giver of life and the destroyer of illusions. I would definitely. I'm not saying I'm gonna take it and make it mine, but hey, you know what I'm saying? Don't. Oh, one man's treasure, another man's treasure. No, I'm just
We
playing.
all hold that frequency though, for real.
No, for real, for real, for real. So I want to ask you this question: what do you feel is man's biggest illusion? One man's biggest illusion that they find is the hardest to let go.
Okay, I'm gonna say this clear, and I know a lot of people are not gonna like this.
Hmm.
God is not separate from you. You do not have to seek outside of your being, of your consciousness to connect to anything. It's all there. You carry the codes of creation. You are creation in matter, in physicality. And as soon as you remember that, your reality aligns to keep reminding you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, yeah.
I understand. And for me, I just want to tap on that real quick because I
Mhm.
feel like a lot of people they get lost in the illusion and they're not understanding, like you said in the beginning, they're not the illusion. You know what I'm saying? And when you put
Exactly.
yourself in a place of the
Exactly.
awareness where and listen to me, it all starts from a mental state. The mental
Everything
state
starts in
is
a mental plane. Everything.
yes, everything physical starts from the non-physical, but we live in a dense reality, so people are
Yep.
instant gratification mode. You know what I'm saying? But you need to realize this: mental state first, your actions follow, and reality follows after. You just got to realize it takes
Exactly.
time because we live in such a dense reality. You got to stay
Yes.
in the mode of
Yes.
repetition and keeping it going because that is the motor. Now, let me just add on to that, just to say something real quick, because I feel like
Mhm.
the illusion for a lot of us these days is being stuck in survival mode and thinking,
Oh my God. Oh
yeah,
my God.
because a lot of, listen to me, I'm not in a life or the state personally where I feel like I need to get things done or I can get things done. But I said, only way to start is to start. I'm
Hmm.
doing this right
Exactly.
now because I decided to start. Do we understand?
Yes.
And long story short, listen to me, listen to me, listen to me, listen to me. You don't have to live in a state of when I get this, I feel like this. It's
Because you'll always be waiting for the next thing. You will never like
That,
do
yes,
it
that's an
scared.
illusion.
Right, right.
Yes, no, no, keep going. I'm sorry. I'm
Oh, you
just saying.
good? I'm just saying you do not
It's
have to wait. Like the moment that you decide in your consciousness, like this is what I want, you can have it right then and there. Like that's
yes.
another thing. Like I'm so glad you brought up the nervous system because the nervous system is how we experience physicality, right? So
Mhm.
any fear, any trauma, any density, anything that you're not clearing, transmuting, integrating, it's lingering. You know what I mean? And that's not the type of frequency we want to be holding. We need to use these things to progress us farther along in our journey. You know what I'm saying? Not
Yes.
keep us stuck. And when we regulate our nervous systems, that is how, that's like the foundational basis for consciousness. is regulation of the nervous system. You receive those light codes, you receive those downloads instantly. I literally receive step by step instruction. Okay, this, and I can do it at a moment's notice. It wasn't always like that. You know what I'm saying? And when I regulated my nervous system, the clarity of the mind, the presence of the spirit just completely changed my reality.
Yes. Yes, listen to me. Like before we go to the next question, because the nervous system, when she says the nervous system, your nervous system is directly tied to your breath. Your breath is directly tied to your consciousness. Your consciousness is directly tied to your experience. Do you
Hmm.
hear? So when you learn to slow the breath, it slows the nervous system and it brings it to a sense of safety. Now, just
Absolutely.
say this real quick. The mouth and the nose send different signals to the body. When
Mhm.
you when you use the nose, listen to me. You primarily want to go through life breathing in the nose and out the
Mhm.
nose. You only want to use your mouth breathing when you're talking, when you're eating, and when you're exercising heavy. Do you understand? Nose breathing is the way because it brings more oxygen into the brain, it allows more clarity, and it slows your nervous system. It activates the parasympathetic, which allows
Mhm.
you to basically get into a mode of safety, and
Yes.
it's responsible for the sense of I'm sorry, it's responsible for the body's repair. You hear me? So
Mhm.
you can repair yourself by slowing the breath, by connecting with your nervous.
Yes.
This shit is real. It's
And
real. Please
I'm so
believe me.
I'm so happy you brought up the parasympathetic and the sympathetic because the sympathetic is fight or flight.
Yes.
That parasympathetic is rest and
Yes.
receive. And the
Yes.
breath is the bridge between the both. That's
Yes.
the craziest part.
Yes. Yeah. So that's the segue real quick. How did you get into spirituality? What brought you into spirituality?
um when I was younger, I would look in the mirror, right?
Mhm.
I wasn't even in school yet. And I would just be like, "Oh my God, like I had this feeling that I was more than my physical body." But I
Mm,
had to be like 4 years old, so I didn't like quite have the language for it.
yeah.
And I would always have dreams like of another world before this one. I would
Mm,
always know what was going to happen before it happened. I'm always the one asking the questions everybody else is too scared to ask. And for a long time, um, it wasn't something that was, how can I say, appreciated. Because, a lot of the people I grew up around are heavily into religion. You know what I'm saying? I really grew up in church for real. So when I'm asking these questions and telling people things that I shouldn't know as like a 7-year old, I'm being called a witch, I'm this, I'm that. And so for a long time, I quieted that part of myself. But it wasn't up until like 2020 where something just like broke in my mind and I realized like that's my superpower. That's me. That is the essence of my soul. And I shouldn't let other people's shadows dim
yeah.
that. I had to
Oh,
stop dimming my own light and I had
yeah.
to embody, what I was this whole time.
I almost threw my glasses. That was that was Kendonism. I swear to God.
Facts. Thank you.
Yeah, I almost threw my glass. That listen. These are nice glasses though. I couldn't just toss them like that. I was just about, boy, look. That was beautiful because
Thank
wow,
you.
listen, as at a young age, I always had that kind of sense of connection to the divine or
Hmm.
source. I would have these dreams. It'd be
Hmm.
amazing. Listen, I'll be in church, right? But
Hmm.
I will all and grandma always talking about fighting for the Lord or whatever. She was the pastor. My grandma was the pastor. She also raised me. I grew up in her household. And
Hmm.
she would always before we go to sleep tell us to pray. Now, when I went to sleep, when I prayed, she would always tell us to pray for protection, right?
Hmm.
Praying for protection. I kid you not. I remember I would always pray for protection, but the praying for protection was like I keep talking like I was talking to God or something like that. But in my mind, and this is crazy because later down the line, that's kind of how you get into a lucid dream state by constantly repeating, you know what I'm saying? But I
Uh-huh.
was having full blown conversations with myself, and I'm thinking it's my subconscious mind. But I had dreams fighting with Jesus, and it was a black Jesus. It was a black Jesus. I kid you not, he had the white robe on and everything. He had a gun. He was
Oh my
behind a wall. He
God.
was telling me which direction to go, and it was cool as shit. And I remember one time I ended up running into an enemy. He kicked the shit out of me, and I'm in a chair slump, and my body in real life jumped up. I never forget that. And
Oh God.
that was the first time I was like, oh, my dreams are connected to my real life.
Yes.
Yeah, it was cool, but I just had to segue into that. I had to segue into that. So on that note too, based off what you were saying,
Mhm.
it seems like you were in alignment at a young age. Seems like you were tapped in at a young age, which, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people get lost. They get
Mhm.
baptized in what you want to call either whitewashing or just environmental delusion, this illusion that we call.
All of the above, the cognitive dissonance. It's like, but the thing is, I asked, Source, like, what was the reason I had to go through that? Because I did endure quite a bit of religious trauma, and I was told that I had to go through it so that I could experience what it was like to be on the other side of what I'm helping people out of. Let's see.
Hello?
Hello?
My bad. I got my baby girl called me.
You good?
So go ahead. Go ahead. Continue what you were saying.
Let me call it back. Oh, so that's my
You
trick, by
saying
the way.
you
Whenever
was transmuting traumas. You went through a lot of trauma.
do. So, yeah, Source pretty much was telling me like you had to go through it to learn how to teach people to get out of it. Because what this is a spell. And that's what people do not realize. And so it is trapping their minds in a loop of obey, surrender, beg for my reality to change. And it's taking that power
Mm,
from you. You
that's
hold
the
the
alpha.
power to shift your reality. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's yeah, definitely. And you know, it's just deep that you say that because the alphabet, if you think about the brain state, it works in four different
Spelling,
ways. That's what, listen, spelling,
scripture,
grammar, it comes from the word grimoire. Alphabet puts you in that alpha brainwave state, which is susceptible to suggestions and hypnotic. Listen to me, y'all. This shit is a
spells,
spell. This shit
literally.
is
And
it,
people do not like it when you say that, but I'm
and,
gonna say it every time.
and
I'm gonna
can I let
say
me
it.
tap in? Let me say something. When you recognize it's a spell and you see this shit, you become aware of it, and it does not put you under the spell
You break
because
it.
you're aware of it. Awareness is the first step. God damn it. Ah, throw these glasses. Stop playing with me. Stop
For
playing with me.
real. For
Oh my
real
mama,
though.
but with that being said, because we're like I said, all our information is demonized. I got I
All
got
of it.
I got listen to me.
All of
I
it.
got sage right here. I use this for spiritual enhancement. This is not witchcraft, y'all. Y'all see some herbs
It
and call it witchcraft.
grows from the planet that we also come from,
Y'all put
that
this in
we are
chili.
all connected to. Y'all eat it on y'all's food. But when I use it in this context, because you don't know the power I carry, because it scares you, it's bad. It's demonic.
Yes. Now now with that being said, I just kind of want to ask you, with all the
Mhm.
chaos, everything being demonic, people not being too aware, how do you come to alignment and bring back alignment when life gets chaotic?
The breath, stillness,
God, hold on.
peace.
Stop playing. Say it again. Say it
For
for the people in the
real.
back.
The breath, the stillness, the peace. Know when you are getting overstimulated. Know when it's time to get out the screens. Like, even though we create content, I think that's even more of a reason why we have to know that balance. When it's time to get off the screens and back into the body, back into the nature, back into the breath, because that brings you back into present and centered awareness, which is where you want to make all of your decisions from. You know what I mean? That's what your like your inner temple of homeostasis, like your peace, your stillness that you built inside,
Mm-hmm.
that should be unpenetrable. You know what I'm saying?
That's definitely. It should be. That's why it's good to go into forms and states of protection. For me, I always use like affirmations. Number
Mm-hmm.
one, let me segue into this. I have affirmation decks, affirmation cards that y'all can use right now. These
Okay, but it's
affirmation, listen, yeah,
also
listen. Not only that, I was talking to her earlier. She's working on what you working on?
a emotional transmutation deck.
Ooh, let
Because
me check the
the
name.
people
Hold on.
don't know about density. Like I
They-
tried to look it up, it's nowhere. Like,
it's a listen. It's an undertaught thing, and it's
mm-hmm.
not a lot of things out there or products out there that allow integration for it. So
That
that's a
makes
product that they
sense.
need. Now with this, like I said, my affirmation cards are designed for identity shifting. They have inside of them, listen to me, the affirmation. They have next the question that allows you to understand where the affirmation stands in your life. Not only that, it has the breath work to activate the affirmation. After that, it has an action to ground you to the affirmation to integrate it. This is a full, listen to me, it's 30 cards. It's less than $1 per card. $28 for the whole deck. Listen to me. Get you a deck of affirmation cards. Use it to reprogram the mind, to neurally reprogram it for opportunities. These affirmations, if you do affirmations, if you do invocations, if you do praying, if you do any type of practice, do it daily and make it a ritual. Don't demonize the word ritual. Ritual means something that you do on the daily. Ritual means something you do on the daily. Y'all stop demonizing my
We
shit. Stop.
all have rituals, every human on this planet. A
Brush your
ritual
teeth.
and a routine is synonymous. It's the same thing.
Yes. Yes. Now, with that being said, I want to ask you, you're a beautiful woman, you're
Thank you.
gorgeous, and you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things, especially with you being spiritual, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people like to talk about the divine feminine.
Mm-hmm.
So when we talking about the divine feminine, a lot of things as far as the divine feminine gets misunderstood. Can I ask you, what is the number one, or you feel is the number one misunderstood thing about the divine feminine?
I feel that many times people confuse divinity with submission
Ooh.
because they want us to be this cookie cutter, soft spoken, but
Mm.
as the original divine feminine, I am chaos, but I am
Yes.
love all in one. And I can choose between as I feel, and there is no fear because I understand that I am the all. Life
I
comes from me. You know what I'm saying? The black woman is the original portal into physicality, period.
mm.
We are creation walking in flesh. The black woman wrapped light in matter and then became it. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like the picture that they have for divine femininity, when I look on TikTok, they're like looking at external things like the hair, the nails, the soft spoken. But it is a frequency that you carry. It is a
Mm.
mitochondrial flame from the great mother. You know what I'm saying? It's not something that can be tapped into by looking externally, if that makes sense.
Yes,
You
I
have to go
understand.
within and remember who you are, where you are, and why you came, and your role in this game that we're in called
That
life.
ooh, that was beautiful. I ain't got two pair of glasses. That listen to me, that was beautiful. But just to segue into that, just to add on to it, and I'm sorry to just keep tapping in like this,
No,
but
I love it. I love it.
yeah, you create this energy within me. I feel like a lot of the divine feminine is disrespected in a way because a lot of listen to me, a lot of us men, I'm talking to a lot of us men. If you still out here calling women bitches, if you still out here looking at women from a perspective of lust and you feel me, and that intention, if you still talking to women with a disrespectful tone, understand this, that's basically disrespecting yourself. That's nothing but a mirror, and that you never talk to your mother that way. And I want all of us to understand this: we all start off as an X chromosome, which is a woman. You started off as a woman, and you want to be a
All
bitch nigga.
life comes from the woman. All life.
Yes, yes. You later develop the Y chromosome, and that's still you become less of yourself.
And the Y chromosome is so much smaller than the X. which we
Listen to me.
have two of that are full size, meaning that it is an altered X.
That's what I'm saying. And I feel like the roles has been reversed in society for a
Absolutely.
confusion. You feel me? They definitely confuse the thing because I do believe that it don't take a woman's leadership, but it because it takes a balance, but it takes the understanding that the woman's leadership is highly needed. It's listen to me, it's needed for a reason because they provide that sense of balance. They provide that sense of nurturing. They provide that sense of creative flow that a lot of us men don't really bring to the table. You feel me? But
Mhm.
like I said, especially in relationships, it's good to have a balance, a push and pull of understanding each other's roles in leadership. Because a lot of
Facts.
us men think that we are the head honcho and you do what I say, kiss my feet, make the food, and shut up. It's
Right.
crazy.
Crazy word.
It's crazy. It's
Absolutely.
crazy. It's crazy. But with that being said, I want to know what practices are you doing right now, to keep your life in a state of balance, to keep your life in a state of homeostasis, where you're able to use these practices as tools. Now, before you go into that, I want to say something real quick, y'all. These words that we use as spells, you can use them as tools. It's called transmuting the energy. I use the word remember as a tool. I use the word why as a tool, not as concepts, but as actual tools and permission slips to collapse timelines. Do we
Facts.
understand?
Facts.
I kid you
Facts.
not. So what are you using as a practical tool in these days to enhance your spiritual life and quality in life?
So the first thing I want to say is that you don't need anything outside of what you were sent into this realm with: your body, your mind, your breath, your awareness. I like breath work is my biggest thing. I'm a mom to a 1 year old. I have three dogs. I have a husband. So I'm always constantly being needed all throughout the day. And sometimes that can be overwhelming. This is my first child, my first time being, married, engaged. So, you know, things do get overwhelming sometimes. And one thing that I can always come back to when it seems like everybody in the house calling me, the dog's barking, I have to just breathe. Know when I feel myself getting to that point of like, okay, and take a step back. And another thing is we really have to like start pouring into our self-care. Make sure you're hydrated, make sure you get yourself some tea, like nurture yourself you would like the way that you would like a younger sibling or something. Give yourself that same grace. And yeah, really that's it. Like just be there for yourself. You know what I mean? Take that stillness. Know when you feel yourself getting hot, when that heart is beating fast. Know what it feels like when you are becoming dysregulated, and breathe.
Yes.
Breathe, slow down, sit in that stillness. Don't sink into the anger, but like we were talking about earlier, look at it from an overhead perspective. What is this trying to teach me? Is this a pattern I am repeating? What am I meant to learn and grow through this? You know what I'm saying? Don't just let the stagnant energy just sit. Move through it.
Yes. Listen, that was beautiful. Right, it just the segue. If you have a problem coming to the awareness point with your breath, I have guided meditations on my YouTube. Guided meditations allow you to let. So sometimes we need to understand how to breathe. Let me give y'all some game that I could really charge for. Your breath and certain breathing techniques are like a cheat code in a game. R
Yes.
left right down right left right down up left right down up R12 R12. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even saying it, but
Literally.
you get it. Breathing techniques activate cheat codes in the body. There are
Yes.
certain breathing techniques that activate different states of mind. This will allow you and help you to live from the end. This is going to help you with your visualization. It's going to help you with clarity. It's going to help you go within because your body is the temple. Your body is
Facts.
the temple. And when you
Facts.
go within the body, visualizing and listen to me, take your awareness and visualize it in one specific chakra
Mhm.
point. Take your awareness, put it behind it, and then investigate those situations. Let's say you got a
Mhm.
stomach ache. Slow down, breathe. Do some belly breathing. Take the awareness there. I got belly breathing exercises on there. We do box breathing. I got a nervous system reset breathing on the YouTube. I got breathing exercise. I got I am a millionaire breathing exercises that bring you to the state of now that lets you know you are a millionaire. You are rich. You
Mhm.
are these things right now because no time exists but now. But you
No
got to learn
cap.
to collapse the timelines because we're always
Yes.
manifesting something. But you listen, we manifest billions of times per second. What are you aware of though that you're manifesting? It's
Hmm.
bringing the
Hmm.
attention to the awareness point. That's why
Yes.
we're having these conversations.
Absolutely.
Now,
Absolutely.
I got a question for you, real quick, before we,
Mhm.
before we segue out of here. Are you doing any? What spiritual hygiene are you practicing right now? Are you doing
Okay.
any type of spiritual hygiene practices?
Absolutely. I have a whole series coming about this because,
Ooh.
like, bioelectric hygiene,
Mm,
oh my God, is so important. We all have a bioelectric field, and it is made up of layers which complete our aura, right? Anytime you speak to someone, say you're nurturing a project, you go speak to someone, they cast doubt on you. You might be carrying that in your field. What I like to do to release this type of energy from all layers, I like salt baths, herbal baths. Sometimes I even just tell myself, like, I just block it off, like, move the energy, like, that's not landing in my field. I'm good on that. Like, but meditation, sitting with, like you said, taking the awareness to the spaces of the body. What is this telling me? What are these feelings trying to show me? And actually moving through it, integrating it. Like, we don't want to just set in stagnant energy. You know what I mean?
yes. That's why you do yoga. That's why you stretch. These
Yes.
things help release stagnant
And
energy.
that's a big one for me too, is like I have to do my root chakra yoga, especially because we are in solar cycle 25. Okay. So the sun is flaring, giving solar transmissions daily. And this doesn't just affect our physical body, but our mental. It affects every system of our body. So what I like to do, because it can have you feeling, even if you are spiritually tapped in, we get hit with so much energy that it can knock you off. So I like to do root chakra yoga because it grounds the body into the spirit, and then, or grounds the spirit into the body, and then connects the body back to the earth.
Yes.
So you are bringing your awareness centered and present within your vessel. You know what I mean?
Yes. And just to add a little formula and clarity, your bioelectric magnetic field is your aura. That is
Yes.
your aura.
Yes.
Your
Mhm.
aura is directly connected to your breath. Your breath is directly connected to your nervous system. Your
Yes.
nervous system sends signals to the body that allows you to activate experience. Do you
Yes.
understand? So, with that being said, you need to do some spiritual hygiene. Let me just do this real quick. I took some, you can take kosher salt. These are things that you can use in your
Hmm.
household right now. I
Yes,
took a
literally.
shower with this. I
Hmm.
rub it on my body dry, and I, you feel me, clean. I basically make sure I get as many parts as I can, but
Hmm.
mainly you want to get the parts that you feel you want to cleanse the most, and that's based off a chakra center. Now, when
Yes.
you do that, you get in there, you rinse it off, you take your soap. I use nothing but natural soap. It's watermelon
Mhm.
soap. It's fire. I ain't gonna lie. Tap in. I'm gonna make some. I'm about to make some for real. But long story short, get yourself into a spiritual hygiene. Get yourself
Mhm.
into practice. Now, before I
Mhm.
go, I don't want to ask you one more question because you're so dope. What practices do you, or what practice do you recommend for anybody that's trying to start a spiritual journey right now? And also
Regulating the
one
nervous
book.
system. One book. Okay.
Oh no,
Okay.
what you say the first time?
Nervous system regulation. That is, again, the foundational basis of consciousness, because when we tap into, say, higher dimensions, you have to be grounded enough in your body, in your vessel, regulated enough to receive that information. Your system has to be safe enough to download it, integrate it, anchor it, speak about it. So the nervous system regulation is the number one biggest thing that you can do to begin your spiritual journey, because you will come across a sense of clarity that you've never experienced before, and it'll shift your reality like this.
I swear to God. Because listen to me. What she's saying is this: nervous system awareness, or resetting the nervous system and bringing yourself into a state of safety. This is what happens when you go to sleep. You only go to sleep because you feel safe. That
Mhm,
means the nervous system has calmed down enough to put your body in a relaxed state where you
mhm,
can go to sleep. This that's key. When you try to meditate, when you're trying to meditate, get yourself into the half sleep, half awake state. You understand? Get yourself into a spot of safety. But
mhm,
I want to say, I just want to say this: if you're trying to reset your nervous system, I recommend listen to, it's a book called Resetting the Nervous System. I forgot
mhm,
the author's name, but this book put me on to so much. It helped me understand the whole, like literally the whole nervous system and how to reset it. Understanding different triggers from the nose, different triggers from the mouth, understanding somatic breathing, understanding
mhm,
what the parasympathetic is, and all these different things, the vagal nerve. You know what I'm saying? So tap in, y'all. Be aware. Don't be afraid to get into the information, because what you fear, you don't study, and what you don't study, you tend to fear.
mhm. Facts, facts.
So, anything that you want to close out with before we go? Is there any closing statements that you want to make? Can you please let the people know where they can get in touch with you? And by the way, I left a uh Cash App on in the comments. It's the pinned comment. If you feel like you were fed in this conversation, please don't be afraid. It's not going to me. It's all going to her. She deserves
Thank
it.
you.
Listen to me. And this is going to be here for forever. So if you're seeing this right now, please don't be afraid to tap in and invest in this information, because she deserves it, and she will be back. We will bring her back, and we will have different conversations, because you are
Definitely.
wonderful. But how can the
Thank
people get
you.
in touch with you? Where are your social medias and all that?
Starseed Baby on everything. So just
Mm,
Starseed BBY on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, everything.
got you. I'll make sure I put your information in the descriptions as well. I gotta make sure I get that information beforehand. But is that all for you? You want to say anything else before we close out?
I want to let the collective know that we are in times where we will be shedding the version of ourselves that we have had to be to or become to exist in this dimension of reality, and let it go. That was never you. Tap into who you are beyond this. Remember, you are the creator playing in its own creation. These are codes of remembrance we are speaking when we get up on here. We're not just talking just to talk. We are
Hold up.
tapping into ancient frequency, ancient remembrance. The ancestors are here with us, guiding us through. And they want me to tell you guys, like, the answer, it was always you. You are what you are looking for. We are what we are waiting for. And this works individually and collectively. You know what I'm saying? We are in this together for real.
Beautiful. That was beautiful. Now, before
Thank
we
you.
go, if it's okay with you, can I perform an invocation affirmation? Close?
Absolutely.
Awesome, awesome. So, if you don't mind, everybody, just kind of like relax yourself. You can close your eyes or soften the gaze, whatever allows you in the body to truly soften and relax. Now, we're going to take a deep breath in through the nose into the belly. We're going to hold. One, two. Exhale. Three, four, five, six. I call upon my ancestors of the highest light who has fully ascended to come and assist me with this ancestral wisdom. First, I want to encircle me. I want to encircle Daisy. I want to encircle all the viewers watching right now in the gold light of your love and divine protection, as I call upon the infinite spirit of abundance to open the gate of abundance for all of us, that we are irresistible magnets for all things that belong to us by divine right. For we activate the versions of us who is in constant overflow. We are drawn and activating the magnetism for opportunity. We are activating the magnetism for purpose. We are activating the magnetism of our highest timeline collapsing right now.
Mhm.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Ashe. Thank you again.
Thank
See y'all
you.
next time.